What's going on YouTube? Rock the AC here. Today I will be doing a deck profile on my unofficial top 4 Naruto deck. The reason why I say it's unofficial is because due to time constraints and how late we started the tournament, we were only able to play 3 rounds. And Saul suggested that we should do a mock top 8 or whatever it was, depending on everyone's scores and stuff. So yeah, we decided to do that. We stuck around. I had the first round I had a bye. Second round I played Saul and I beat his Tears and Rebirth deck. Third round I faced a guy named Charlie and I beat his Zetsu Army deck. And then it went straight to top 8. Top 8 I faced Tony Denning in the seed. I beat his mirror match, or he actually played Shimon says also the Earth Fire version, and I was able to beat him match 3. And I lost top 4 against Eric Malone. It was a very crazy match, exhausting match. We went to at least like turn 12, 13, I don't even remember, but went to game 3. I just needed 2 Battle Awards. I was fishing out for my Deidara or my second Tsuchikage. Both were in my discard pile / Battle Awards, and I pretty much decked out because I was looking for resources and stuff. And I just kept stalling the game, but a very good game. It was a lot of fun, and overall it was a good experience. It was my second Gencon ever, and it was good to play against people who I've never played against and only just heard about. The jump only had 21 players, so people out there could say it's a tune-in. But yeah, like I said, a lot of the players out there, I think, were pretty much one of the most loyal and dedicated players to the Naruto community, I would say. Not to say that others who weren't able to make it were not. I mean, you know, time, money, distance, that also plays a factor. But I think for the people who made it to the Gencon event, you know, that they really sacrificed a lot of their time and their money and dedication just to make it to this small event, knowing that it's not going to be a huge event, but just to play for fun and play with, you know, the people that they used to play for, you know, years and since the game started. So yeah, as cheesy as it sounds, I know it was a good event for everybody else, and you know, it just sucks that Band-Aid let go, and we did pull through with an event, and who knows what the future will bring. But yeah, anyways, enough of me talking. You guys are used to that on my videos. Let's go with the deck profile and hear your thoughts afterwards. I ran Earth, Wind, Shimon says, I guess you could say. I thought it was a very powerful deck. It's the same deck I ran in my last tune, and I felt very comfortable with it. And I feel like it's really frustrating, and I kind of made my deck to go against and counter the meta, which in my opinion was tier 1 was like revitalized, and you got stuff like Tears and 10-10 pickup. And I totally wasn't expecting the Earth Fire Zetsu Army deck, because I never even faced one or gotten the chance to see one. So they're definitely the top decks that I think are up there. Shimon also, but probably more like tier 2 or tier 1.5. But here we go. So here's my 0 drops. I ran 3 Shikamaru Outwit. Arguably one of the best 0 drops in the game. 4 mental power. Really stops rush, and it's target for Sheikah's decision. I ran 3 10-10. She has 1 mental power. She could draw cards, and reason why I run 3 is because I combo her and with this tech card that I have, Sakura from set 28. Basically, her effect is that I can move any ninja card from either player's discard pile or chakra area to the bottom of the deck, and then I could injure that same name or heal that same name. So oftentimes it was mainly to counter the 10-10 recycle decks, which I never faced. But yeah, you would move 10-10 down at the bottom, you injure her effect, so she cannot, you know, pick up those cards. And it's a mission effect on both turns, so it stops a lot. I tend to also even use it on myself just to heal my own 10-10 or just to heal my own Shimon and stuff. Sorry with Sakura, but yeah, she's really good. 2 Sasuke solos, he should be a staple in anybody's decks. 5-0 ninja, swing out for 2 prizes. I ran 2 Choji. He gets big every single time. He's a great card to counter against Rush, because they know that he's going to be getting coins and stuff, so they need to do something about him. He helped out a lot. I ran 1 Hotaru because she instantly draws a card, and if I need to, I could flashpoint before my Shimon comes out. She has Water Wind also in case I need to pay costs for random reinforcement water ninjas. 1 drops, I ran 2 Tamari, only because I wanted to counter as many jitsus as possible. I was really afraid of early game jitsus like Backstab, I was like Fang's Rush, stuff like that. The only other deck that I played that was really heavy jitsu'd was Eric Malone, and it helped out stall a little bit. Tamari, I would usually drop her on turn 1 or turn 2, get rid of their jutsu, and then if I feel like they have another one in their hand, just play it, play another one in the next couple of turns. Childhood, she's broke, expert user on Mind Transfer, helped out tremendously in all my matches, and it's a problem card, in a way. 1 Karen, she's a solid card just to have as a one of. 2 mental power, she has ambush in case I have more cards in my hand. She's great at keeping my Shimon healthy and my ninjas healthy that don't have valid effects. And she's also there to really counter decks that rely on their discard pile, like Tears and Rebirth, moving their Dedaras, their Geto Arts, all their stuff, their Hedons, back into their pile if they don't have Giant Eagle. 2 drops, 3 Shimon, one of the main cards of the deck, stops any type of put and play effect, ambush, reinforcement, shocker cost like Inkfish stuff. He's really good. I ran 3 Obito. Originally I had 2, but I was really thinking about adding another one, and I shoutouts to Taylor and Grant who also helped suggested to running 3, and I did originally run 3 in my original build, and I just had enough confidence to realize that it was important to run 3, just because sometimes you'd be milling it off through Eno or giving off Battle Awards, so it's always good to have an extra Obito just because your main combos are just popping out ninjas, so there are a lot of ninjas out there that are problem ninjas, and the only way to get them out really is through Shimon and combos. So Obito helped a lot. I rarely cracked into Danzo, but I mean, Obito was there just to pop ninjas out. My other 3 drops, like I said, 2 Sakuras. I ran 2 because I wanted to make sure I hit it, because it does counter, like I said, a lot of the decks like 10-10 and stuff that don't have valid effects. Keeps my Shimon healthy, so that I could just move my Shimon back to the bottom of my deck so I don't deck out. Stuff like that. And Sakura's just a really solid card. She's a 3 mental power, 4-3, pretty decent stats. Turn 4s, I ran 2 Shizune. She was one of the MVP cards definitely for my deck. She helped. She definitely helped me stabilize because she prevented a lot of ninjas from attacking. Originally, she was only mainly used to counter Revitalize, because during the blocker mission phase, you could pay a wind and you could prevent a ninja from going on to battle. She was mainly there to stop stuff like Yamato and First Hokage, because if they can't go out to battle, they can't use their spontaneous. So she would just be there just to use that, and I could, use my other cards to combo if I have my Obito, Auto Comrades, Sakura's Tears, all that stuff, just to pop out, the Yamato or whatever. But she did help. I never faced against a revitalized deck, unfortunately, but she did stop Saul a couple times so that I could bounce back and get the cards that I needed. Prevented Eric from rushing me early game. If I didn't have her, I would have been done by like turn 5, turn 6. A lot of my games went to like turn 9, 10, just because I was preventing them from attacking and being able to draw into the cards that I needed. So if you ever need like a good solid win card that's anti-meta, Shizune is a good card. Next I ran 2 Garas. Gara was amazing because he would be able to fish out certain wind missions and wind jutsus to my hand. This is a TP4 one, so whenever he attacks, you reveal the top 3 and move a mission or a a win mission or a win jutsu to your hand. Against top 8 unofficially against Tony Denning, game 3, we were pretty much neck and neck, and we were pretty much playing no hand water against each other. We had no hand for like a couple turns. We just kept drawing and passing and whatever. But there's a time when I had one win card and I top deck Gara, and I had to get rid of that, and I swung out with my teams, and Gara's effect, he was able to get a Jitsu vacuum bullets to my hand and essentially pushed and killed his team and swung for game. So he does help out a lot, and he does help try to get, you know, those win missions, at which I run all of them pretty much, or even my win jutsus. I ran one Baki. Sadly, he did not do any help for me in the tournament. I know, especially if you hit your Shimon curve right, you know, you should have a huge advantage over ninjas. And Baki just pretty much, like what he says, he cleans up the rest of the ninjas on the field. I didn't find too much use of him, and you know, he didn't serve too much of a purpose of this deck. He was a very solid card indeed to have, and definitely made sense for the theme of the deck. But I just, even in previous builds that I made, Baki was never any luck of me. Normally I would play 2 Deidara. I only played 1 Deidara, but if I had to make any changes, I would definitely play 2 Deidara instead, because Deidara could help seal games, especially if you're rushing in with Shimon and you're getting rid of their ninjas, you're getting Battle Wards, and then you just need an extra push. If I had 2 more Battle Wards, if I had another extra Deidara, I would have had another chance against Eric, just because I needed those 2 Battle Wards to win. But yeah, Baki didn't do too much for me, and he never did in the past, but I don't regret it. It was a good solid card overall, but he didn't work for me, I guess. I would rather much have an extra Deidara, because he closes games. He's too good. Last 6-drop is 1 second Tsuchikage. He's in all my decks. He swings out for 2 BRs if your opponent doesn't have a 6-drop. You're pretty much swinging for the last remaining BRs. I wish I either played 2 Deidara or 2 of him, just because he's so good. He has 2 mental power, sacrifice a ninja, but you could just sacrifice a ninja that you used from mind transfer or whatever. One game against Charlie, I think, is like the first game. I was down so many ninjas, and I only had like, I think, 3 ninjas compared to his like 5, I believe. And we went to turn 6, and I had enough chakra to use particle style. I was hoping I wouldn't be able to chain it. He had a Fang's Rush in his hand, but nothing else. So second Tsuchikage attacked with him and Baki on a separate team, actually. So second Tsuchikage is sniping for 2 Battle Wards. Same thing with the particle style. Target one ninja. I targeted one of his other teams and remove 1 from the game. And since it has an expert effect of gravity, those I gave 2 damage to those other ninjas as well. So swung out for 4 Battle Wards. In there, I guess that one game, Baki did help out, because he only had Naruto TP4 out, and he had to discard him at the end of the turn because I wiped out his whole field. That is a crazy combo in itself, and that's one of the reasons why I put him in here. Or I even added particle style. That's, I believe, the only time that I really used it, but it served its purpose, and I was glad to use that instead of Tetragram, just because that combo was amazing. Yeah, going to the missions. 3 Never Ending Love, super broke. Basically, if you hit that a couple turns, just puts you in so much advantage. Definitely would have hit the rogue list to at least 1, or if not banned. It just starts so many Jitsu chains and early stuff. It helped me get mind transfer super early, because it's so much better than Student Sensei. You're getting an extra card out of that, and you're plussing. It's Earth, Wind, both my elements, and you don't really need to organize, because you have some good ninjas who could stand by themselves on turn 0 and turn 1. So Never Ending Love was just such a good card in this deck. I don't think I would have gone that far without its help. It's too good. 3 Auto Comrades is the main combo of the deck with Shimon. It's a counter mission, so nothing could really counter Auto Comrades, and nobody really was able to. They didn't really hit their Shino, or nobody played stuff like Digging in the Grave and whatever. But yeah, pop out ninjas, it ruins a lot of people's plans, which I really saw in a lot of the games. 3 Sheikah's decisions, best tutor in the game, no doubt. Search any ninja card if you target Shikamaru. Draw a card for a female. It's just way too good. I ran 2 Sakura's Tears because I wanted to make sure I have extra copies of Idle Comrades. So in case I miss my Idle Comrades or it gets in my discard pile through Ino's effect or Tenten's effect, Sakura's Tears copies that, and this was in my original build, and I really like having extra copies of missions. You could still target Idle Comrade's mission effect because it's only affecting the effect, not the timing of the effect. Sakura's Tears is good for that, and that's why I played it. And my last mission is 1 Clear Sky. I decided to go with a Clear Sky just because if they don't hit a Giant Eagle or anything like that, a lot of the meta decks, they're pretty much going to have a hard time coming back. Again, like I said, I built this deck to counter meta, and like I said, which was in my opinion revitalized. So Clear Sky basically says, for 2 Earth, or I would rather use Sakura's Tears just to pay 1 cost for Clear Sky. I would get rid of their whole Chakra area and their whole discard pile, shuffle it back to their deck, and they pretty much have to mill out again too. So, by that turn 5 or 4-5, whatever, they might have already killed off Naruto, because they'd find no use to it. But if I hit the Clear Sky, it would ruin their plan. I did once to Saul, and it helped me stall for the game, and he wasn't able to get enough resources for that. I did one for Eric Malone, but he ran so many jutsus and missions that he was able to get a lot of chakra back. But it was a good card overall. It's a solid tech, like I said, to go against those meta decks. Definitely hurts Revitalize just because they're going to shuffle all that stuff. Again, if they don't have Giant Eagle, it's just a good card to have. Jutsus, 3 Mind Transfer. Don't even have to say anything. That card was going to get hit next list if they continue the game. 2 Pressure Damage. Definitely helped out in a lot of my games, just because on the defensive end, if they attacked, I saw that they had no chakra area, I just move a ninja back, and then I combo it with Shimon and Obito or whatever like that. It just helps a lot of stuff, and it really gets rid of problem cards if your opponent can't counter it. I ran 2 Vacuum Bullets. I mainly can only use this on turn 3 or less, or turn 3 or more, but I don't mind because I'm looking to use Mind Transfer as early as possible, so I can Mind Transfer early and then use these jutsus for later in the game, like Idle Comrades, Obito, Vacuum Bullets, all that stuff is for like mid game to late game. So I'd rather play Mind Transfer as early as possible. But Vacuum Bullets is an amazing card. It puts ninjas on standby, and the expert effect of Satusa, like I said, Gaara was able to use it. He gives the damage to the user that's made standby. Solid card. And last jutsu, like you saw, 1 Particle Style. This is my last resort if I couldn't hit anything. Satusa's can only use it, so my Gaara and my second Tsuchikage are users, but like I said, this is the last thing I would ever pull off. I just wanted to make sure that there was something in case I don't hit my Shimon correctly, then there needed to be other means of winning the game or being able to change the course of the game. So yeah, that was my main deck. I guess let's go with my side deck. 2 Self Conversations, just to stop decks that have super win conditions like Tears and Rebirth and NVS and all that stuff. Self Conversation is a staple card. Any type of mission negation should be a staple card in your side deck or even main deck. 2 Overwhelming Hunger. Never played any Tailed Beasts. I saw a couple of them, a couple decks that had it, but never had to use it. There's this one guy who ran Toads, but I never really played him. It would have helped, but yeah. Neji, just to stop effects. Some of the Pains, Sakura's, Naruto's. This is a good solid card to have to go against. So Agetsu, random effects. Yeah, it's should be a staple sideboard card too. 1 Koharu against stuff like Rush, Fire Lightning, Tail Beast, Kisuke. One Pakun. The only reason why I ran one Pakun is because one of my teammates ran straight up mental power deck, and every single tournament that we go to, it's like I always play against my teammates. So for some reason, I was lucky to not even play any of my teammates. But just in case, he ran a straight mental power deck, and which I kind of knew nobody else would try even doing a mental deck for this last tournament. But just in the case, my deck didn't really go too well against mental, which we tested. So Pokken was there just to turn it off, and yeah. One Karen against Tears and Rebirth and 10-10 Recycling. And one Obito against Mirror Matches with Mind Transfer, 10-10 again, and Fire Lightning. The last reinforcements were all the stuff I could steal with Mind Transfer, in a way. The only really ones that I used was Ino Shikacho. I stole Eric's Choji on like turn 9 or whatever, went to the squad and able to injure a lot of his ninjas, but I ended up decking out just because, like I said, I was looking for those resources, and it was a very close game. We actually had, there's a point in time when we both had only 2 cards in my discard pile, but he was quick to recycle the cards back into his discard with stuff like Formidable Team and some Revitalized Ninjas, so that was a pretty cool combo that he had, just to not be able to deck out. But yeah, that was my deck. I thought it was a very solid deck. I know there's different variations. People run Earth Fire, people run Water Wind, and I guess for me, I like the Earth Wind build just because of Mind Transfer. Just because if you're able to Mind Transfer early, especially if you use Never Ending Love early and you're able to get the chakra, if you Mind Transfer earlier, it's going to make your Shimon combo so much more effective, just because you're going to be idle comrading and obitoing on the mid turns while you're Mind Transferring early game, and hitting those mid combos, and you could possibly even hit another Mind Transfer later in the game. So I just thought it was a really effective thing. I never played against the Water Wind build, but I heard it's really good with all the counters and everything. Same thing with Shimon Says, but I was able to overcome that one. But yeah, I guess overall it was a pretty decent experience. So sad that the game had to end. I met some really cool people there for the first time, played them for the first time. I've been playing a little less than 2 years competitively, and I really wish that it kept going, because I really thought that I would pretty much make it up there in tournament ranks and stuff. But regardless, it was all fun while it lasted. Glad that Gato was able to organize the event. So big shout outs to him. Thank you for hosting this event. Yeah, to all the haters out there who's hating on the event, I'd like to see you guys organize the event for yourself. So yeah, don't talk shit when you don't even have the ability to even host the event or organize the event or even want to. Excuse me for my language, but yeah, like I said, if you wanted something positive to talk about the community, don't bash on somebody who's actually sacrificing their money and their time just for other players to go down here and play the game one last time. So there's no reason why you guys should talk shit. Yeah, had to get that off the chest, because the forums have been pretty much blowing up, and whatever. I don't know. That's just my opinion, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but whatever. Yeah, that was my deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys want to try it out, whatever. The game's pretty much done. I'm not sure what I'm going to do from here on out with my channel. I really hope that, sometime in the future there's some type of form of Naruto game, just because, Naruto is my favorite anime and such. But I wouldn't mind having a Attack on Titan CCG. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys again. Thank you all the subscribers for the past almost 2 years. Y'all guys have been pretty cool, and shout outs to all the players I've met throughout the years. Too Easy Forums, Harrison Gaming, Real Deal, Saul, Eric Genre, all those guys I met down there. Team Chicago, Team Milwaukee, all the players, my own team, Team LA County. Shout outs to Dante, who just came out a couple days ago. He was our team leader, and he was a lot better than me, and I felt like he was going to be pretty good if he did join this tournament. But yeah, he just came back from the Air Force. Shout outs to Gato and everybody. Just shout out to everybody, man. It's been fun. It's been a cool ride, and I hope sometime we meet in the future through other games maybe. But yeah, shoot me a PM if you guys are interested in trading. I still do trades and sell cards and whatever. So stay tuned. I'll be doing some random dancing shit and probably like politics, because that's what I'm into right now. But yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace, YouTube.